While researching his controversial book, Dutton carried out a UK study to find out which occupations attract psychopaths.
When we looked at the top 10, it was very, very interesting indeed. Okay, sure, CEOs were number 1. We had lawyers at number 2. We had media, especially TV and radio, at number 3. We also had surgeons.
The list includes hero populations such as law enforcement, rescue services, the military, and special forces.
There's a very common sense reason for that. If you've got people who are charming, who are charismatic, who are ruthless, who are fearless, who are cool under pressure, focused and mentally tough, the James Bond personality, okay? James Bond is the poster boy for functional psychopathy, okay?
My name is Jordan Belfort. The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
Our infatuation with the psychopath through flattering portrayals in the media, best-selling novels, TV dramas, and of course Hollywood movies, may be shaping society toward a less moral world.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
The media also has a way of, in some respects, celebrating the psychopath, right? So there are some traits associated with psychopathy that people just think are kind of neat.
You turn on television at night, and all the programs are about murder and mayhem. People watch Dexter, about a serial killer, I guess, with a conscience. Does that make any sense?
Over here in the UK, we've got shows like Fear Factor, X Factor, The Apprentice, Weakest Link, where the emphasis is all on cutthroat, every man for himself, loosening of inhibition, instant gratification.
The psychopathic style of life is much admired by a lot of people. And this is essentially unfortunate. That is, look out for number 1, get what you can, make sure you retaliate, get your shots in first, right? And don't worry too much about what your impact is upon other people.
Never before have we had such exclusive...
In a rather unconventional experiment, Dutton literally went inside his own brain to better understand what it might feel like to be a psychopath. Using a technique called transcognitive stimulation, Dutton mimicked how a psychopath's brain is hardwired.
So, for instance, I turned down my anxiety levels a little bit and my inhibition levels, and I have to say, it did feel very different indeed. It felt like you've had maybe a bottle of wine, but without the attendant sluggishness, without the attendant tiredness. You felt very confident. Nothing really mattered too much. You felt like you could do anything. And there was a sense of bravado as well. If I could bottle it, I would. But fortunately, for those around me, it did wear off after half an hour.
And Dutton agrees psychopathic traits are winning out in today's top professions, from politicians to pro athletes.
If you've got a guy in a boxing ring and he's got his opponent against the ropes, he would be a complete fool not to finish him off as quickly as possible, as clinically and as effectively as possible. You want to do that in business, and all of a sudden people say, hey, you know, is that fair? Maybe that's unethical. But actually, I would say, you know, in sport, it's absolutely, it's what you're meant to do to be a great champion. You need that ruthlessness, you need that focus, you need that kind of detachment of emotion from behavior in order to be a great champion.